Welcome into WagerTalk TV. I am Drew Martin, joined by Kevin Dolan and Brian Leonard of WagerTalk.com. We're talking a good one here in the SEC on Saturday. CBS 3:30 here, Kevin. We get the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Florida Gators. 59 being the total. Looks like Alabama minus 15.5-point road favorites here, Kevin. You interested in getting involved with the Crimson Tide and Gators on Saturday?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a game that I circled. And, as you said, look, this is definitely the marquee matchup of the week. And I actually like Florida here catching the 15.5 points at home here against the Tide. 7 straight wins in the head-to-head stakes for Alabama heading into this one. Another win here for them would actually equal the record set back in 1986 of 8 straight wins. So, you're going to get a best effort from the Gators here to end that one. And I've actually been impressed with how they've started the season. In fairness, Gators quarterback Anthony Richardson is the first QB in the last quarter century to pass for over 150 yards, rush for over 100 yards, and complete every single pass in a game, which he did last week against South Florida. So, Florida definitely have that dual threat option here. And the Gators also rank number 1 in the nation right now in rushing offense as well, putting up an average of 381.5 rushing yards per game. And, that's something we haven't really seen Alabama deal with yet to start the season as both Miami and Mercer went through the air for the most part. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with Florida on the ground in this one. Overall, though, I think it's just too many points here. I have this game line close to 12 by my power rankings. So I definitely think there's some value back in the Gators in this spot at home. And that's the way I'll be looking to play this one as they take on Alabama down in Gainesville on Saturday.
Good stuff, Kevin. And Brian, coming to you next. The Gators are 2-0, but 0-2 against the spread, against kind of, I guess you could say, little brothers in the Sunshine State there, USF and FAU. No disrespect to them. Good football programs in their own right, Brian. But they're going up against a whole different animal now, against Alabama. This is as good as it gets outside of the NFL, Brian. Minus 15.5. This seems to be right in Nick Saban's sweet spot. I don't know. I'm looking to lay it with the Tide. You going to talk me off of it?
It's rare that I find value on Alabama because everybody bets Alabama. The lines are high. But if you go back and look at Nick Saban's record against the spread, it's not many people that are as good against the spread as Nick Saban. And as was pointed out, this is a series that they've dominated. Florida, I thought Florida's looked pretty good against the little brothers in their state so far this year. They've looked pretty good. But and it's always a tough place to play down there in the swamp. But it's Alabama or nothing for me. To me, they're in a class by themselves, especially defensively. This defense for Alabama is stout and deep, and the offense we thought would have a little bit of a step back this year. We haven't seen it so far. Now, obviously, they haven't played a defense like Florida, but I think this Alabama team is so solid on both sides of the field. To me, you have to have a really good reason to fade this Alabama squad, and I've said this for years. As they continue to cover spreads that people continue to bet them and they continue to make money on them. Joe Public's going to come in, and until Alabama starts losing some games once in a while and not covering some spreads, that's just going to be one of those games that, when they fill out their 18 parlay card, yep, Alabama's right there. And I can't blame them. I think Alabama wins this game. And they haven't shown anything to me to not want to back them here. I'm not standing in the way with the Florida team who has disappointed me so many times when they've stepped up in class. So I'll lay the points here with the Alabama if I had to play this game.
Okay, laying it with the Alabama Crimson Tide. It looks like from Brian Leonard, as am I. And Brian, just real quick question here, talking about, everybody, Joe Public betting Alabama. Do you see this line ticking up, maybe as high as 16, 17 by kickoff?
If it hits 17, I think the wise guys will come in on that. It's more of as much as you can make a key number out of 17, but that's probably the buy sign for a lot of guys. And I know some people have already hit Alabama off the opener and brought it up a little bit. But if it's 17, sure, there'll be a lot of buyback from the wise guys.
He's Brian Leonard. We heard from Kevin Dolan as well. Handicappers at WagerTalk.com. Guys, check them out. Also, check out the live odds screen. Free live odds. We're talking about lines here, where they're moving. WagerTalk Live Odds Screen, the best in the business. Check it out, WagerTalk.com.